These are words I will never tire of saying. Dame Helen Mirren is with us this morning. Good morning, Helen. Lovely to see you. Fresh from the Oscars, obviously.
Well, not quite so fresh, actually, but yes, from the Oscars,
From
definitely.
the Oscars, yes. What was it like for you? A nice experience again?
It's great. You know, there's nothing like the Oscars. And I know often they get criticised on television, but as I say, when you're in the room, it's always fantastic and very exciting. And also, what a great night for so many of my friends, you know, for Colin, Tom Hooper, and for King's Speech to win Best Film. You know, that was incredible. Everyone's very excited about Colin winning, but really think about it. Tom Hooper won for Best Director, and it won for Best Film. That was an amazing night for British film.
I think, didn't Colin say that the way he wanted to celebrate was simply having a burger with Dame Helen Mirren?
Yeah.
Well,
Did that happen?
No, he went off. He got caught. You know, he goes off in his wonderful Oscar-winning bubble kind of thing, and the rest of us are left behind. You know. No, I did have a burger the night that I won. You know, the Vanity Fair party always have burgers, which is great because it's exactly what you need at that time of night.
So you actually do sit starving the whole way through?
You do, yes. It's a long night. It's a long night, yeah.
That's the real glamour of it all.
Yeah.
So The Tempest, your new movie, out tomorrow. This is proper Shakespeare, isn't it? On the big screen.
Yes, it is, absolutely. It's Shakespeare with a twist because obviously the character of Prosper was written originally for a man, and he's usually played by a man, but that's the twist we put on it.
But
other than that, it's exactly the play as written, you know, and it's Shakespeare, yeah.
Was it your idea, Christine, to change Prospero
it was, in a sense.
Well,
I mean, it was a meeting of minds. Julie Taymor, who directed it, who directed the play in the theatre twice before, had the same idea. I was the one who put it to her when she said, "What would you like to do?" when we were discussing how we might work together. I said I'd like to do The Tempest, but I'd like to play Prospera. Never imagining that we would ever do it as a film. I always thought we'd do it in the theatre.
It works, absolutely. I went to see it. I had a little sneak preview. I loved it. Visually stunning. Here's a little clip for you.
Come forth!
As wicked dew as air, my mother, brushed with raven's feather from unwholesome fan, drop on you both. Southwest blow on ye, and blessed are you all over.
For this, be sure tonight thou shalt have cramps, side stitches that shall pen thy breath up.
Stellar cast. We'll talk more about that in just a second. But as I said, it is proper Shakespeare prose. I love it because, you know, I've got an eclectic taste in film, and I thought it was absolutely brilliant. But how do you make that palatable for the younger generation? The ones that are into the Avatars and the Twilights?
I think, honestly, you just do it as well as you possibly can, and then let the quality of the writing fly, and hopefully the quality of the acting. Of course, you know, we're out there against Transformers 3, and, you know, and although actually it is the original sword and sorcery story, actually, The Tempest, Shakespeare's sort of, you know, sword and sorcery piece. But
there are some great special effects in the movie as well.
It's as if Shakespeare knew that special effects were coming, that he wrote a special play for kind of special effects. But you know, the great thing about doing Shakespeare is that on film is, you know, in 20 years' time when Avatar is, which incidentally, don't get me wrong, I think was a groundbreaking, brilliant film, but it will be kind of old hat. The Tempest will be watched as fresh in 20 years' time as it is, you know, this tonight, anyone watching it tonight, as I watch Shakespeare plays. On film, they're an incredible. They bring people to Shakespeare in a very exciting and real and much easier way than having to sit reading the play.
I think so as well. And you say reading the play as you do as a school pupil and you're studying it, and watch it on the big screen as I did when I was watching The Crucible, as for example, when I studied at
well, you know,
makes such a difference.
Honestly, I don't think kids should be made to read Shakespeare at all. I think children's very first experience of Shakespeare should always be in performance, in the theatre or on film, mostly in the theatre, but it should be in performance because that makes it alive and real.
Exactly.
And having characters like Russell Brand.
Yeah.
He was great in this movie. Having
The
him
original
in the film
Shakespearean
makes it
clown,
all great.
Exactly. He just speaks.
He
as if
talks
was straight
Shakespeare,
from
doesn't he? Like naturally, his natural dialogue is Shakespeare somehow.
He was rather nervous, I think, about working with you initially, and of course adored you, as he was quite happy to tell Ross King a few mornings ago.
Oh, come on. She says stuff like that. I was going to be called Natasha, of course. No, she's like from Southend. It's unbelievable. I think she's it is. For me, I was frightened before I met her.
Really?
Yeah, it made me talk a bit different, you know, and like my breathing changed. But like she's so, like, a lot of them people, they know you're going to be nervous, so they're good at putting you at your ease. She was exactly like that. She's wonderful. I'm infatuated with her.
High praise indeed.
I'm a bit infatuated with him. I felt the same way. I was terrified because, you know, Russell Brand, you know, like the bad boy of bad boys, and you know, I'm not a bad boy. I'm not a bad girl. I'm a good girl, and when good girls meet bad boys, you know, terrible things can happen. Mostly to the good girls.
You're forming something of a partnership with him as well. There's another movie you two are coming out with
we
in
did Arthur
April.
together, which was really wonderful and kind of sealed our relationship. And there I got to see what an amazing guy he is. You know, incredible hard worker, kindest heart in the world, funny, of course. No, he's a great guy.
Very good. Are you following the royal wedding preparations as well?
Not really, because I've been out of the loop a bit as far as that is concerned. And no, I wasn't invited, which is absolutely not.
We didn't have that question written down at all, Helen.
But you know, I would never have expected to have been invited. But I think it's great. You know, we all feel very positive about this, don't we?
There's a bit of a buzz, isn't there?
Yeah.
I think so too. It's so lovely to see you again. Honestly, it makes our morning when we know you're coming in.
Oh,
it's just lovely. And The Tempest is out tomorrow.
Yes,
tomorrow. Wonderful.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Dame Helen Mirren.
I know.
Tick, cross that one.
Yeah,
Things to do
there you
before
go.
I hit 40.
He's a bit of a bad boy, you know.
Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear.
We all know what happens.